welcome to McAlister Auditorium. At this time, we ask that you please note the facility's emergency exits. 2 are located to the sides of the stage, and 4 are located at the rear of both the main floor and balcony levels. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is River McGee, and I'm a student
Soon to be ex-student.
of the Governor's School.
And I'm Charlie Rattery. We are here to deliver the welcome address. I know that we've been building up to this moment for 12 years now, but we wanted to make sure you knew what's going on today. So for your convenience, we're going to give you the itinerary for this evening. A piece of paper will be involved, also a handshake, so be prepared for that. The dress is bedroom casual. You guys are rocking the bathrobes, by the way. We also have a very fashionable hat that can double as a serving tray at Bojangles. You've already made it through the first step, arriving here and listening to two co-presidents.
The most important part.
I agree. The truth is, I didn't really know what to say. It's hard for us to talk to you guys about graduation. Messages about tradition and taking your first step away from home don't really apply. The traditional advice doesn't really work for us.
The best thing I can say is that maybe tradition isn't all that it's cracked up to be. You sacrificed the traditional when you gave up living at home and the freedom of a car, and look at what we've accomplished. Senior recitals, litmus, devised, and I hear that DoorDash's stock has risen by 5%. This may not have been the high school experience that you were expecting, but I bet that it was so much better. When I look back at photos of us from last year, I still see the same people, maybe with slightly different tans or haircuts, but yet, although we still look the same, we all feel so unrecognizably different. Behind these photos is a memory of us calling dibs on the shower, filling out all of our humanities credits, attending Govy 101s, and even if it didn't feel like it in the moment, these unique experiences shaped us. Now, as Charlie reminded me earlier, we're soon to be ex-students of the Governor's School, which is hard to think about when Govy was such an important part of our lives. Govy changed us so much that we even created a new language just to better represent our experiences. For any staff, parent, or friend of the school that's out there, you guys should know some slang. First of all, this is not the South Carolina Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities, it's Govy. And Govy has its own language. It's not winter, it's Govy winter. It's not prom, it's Govy prom. It's not having a crush on someone, it's Govy goggles. And now, we're not just at a graduation, we're at a Govy graduation.
At another school, these things would just be small parts of life. But at Gov, the cafeteria is our family breakfast table, and Falls Park is our backyard. Every facet of life is blended into our community, which is why it makes it so hard to leave.
The feeling of belonging is etched onto whiteboards. It follows us out of the classrooms and seeps into the microwaves while we're making ramen. By this point, everyone is done packing up their things. Our homes have turned back into empty rooms, but the memories still live here, even if we don't.
Yes, our school is a little untraditional and it required some sacrifice, but we are better prepared for the world.
I'm going to miss you guys so much next year, but we're lucky to have something so amazing to miss.
Welcome to graduation, everybody.
Good afternoon, one and all. I am also honored to welcome the families and graduates to our 25th commencement exercises this afternoon. I'd like to extend thanks to River McGee and Charlie Rattery. I appreciate your committed service as co-presidents of the student body. Thank you. And on behalf of the administration of the Governor's School, I thank you for your leadership this year and for the thoughtful class gift to the campus presented on last evening. The generosity of the class of 2025, your parents, and members of your extended families is greatly appreciated. At this time, I'd like to recognize the members of the Governor's School leadership that are seated on the stage. If they would please stand and be recognized. Mr. Chad Prosser, Chairman of the Board of Directors. Dr. Jennifer Thomas, Dean and Vice President for Arts and Academics. Dr. Matthew Burns, Vice President for Student Development. Ms. Betsy Beam, Vice President for Finance and Administration. Ms. Anna Catherine Freeland, Chair of Academics and Humanities. Dr. Alan Rossi, Chair of the Creative Writing Department. Ms. Elizabeth Wright, Chair of the Dance Department. Ms. Candace Dickinson, Chair of the Drama Department. Dr. Lauren Vaughn, Chair of the Music Department. Mr. David Gerhardt, Chair of the Visual Art Department. And Ms. Terry Mattress, Director of School Counseling. At this time, I would like to acknowledge all faculty and staff seated in the audience. Please stand and be recognized. All of our employees have been very committed mentors to every step of the way for this outstanding graduating class. I would also like to acknowledge members of our board of directors seated in the audience. Please stand and be recognized. Ms. Kim Lee. And Mr. Gerald Witt. At this time, I am pleased to introduce a distinguished member of the Governor School community. A lifelong advocate for the arts and believer in the transformative power of the creative disciplines, Chad Prosser has dedicated his career to fostering growth and advancement in both public institutions and private enterprises. First appointed to the board of the South Carolina Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities in 2015, he has served as chairman since 2018, guiding the institution's mission to cultivate the next generation of creative leaders. Mr. Prosser's career uniquely bridges the private and public sectors with a focus on driving innovation, expanding opportunities, and leaving a lasting impact on his home state of South Carolina. He is chairman and president of BSC Analytics, a firm he co-founded in 2014 that provides transformational data services to leading U.S. banks and financial institutions. Based in South Carolina, the company operates in over 30 states and 7 foreign countries. Beyond his business and public service work, he is a passionate traveler, landscape photographer, and painter. His commitment to public service began in Washington, D.C., where he was appointed as a Presidential Management Fellow in 1991, working in international trade. As a member of Governor Mark Sanford's cabinet, he led South Carolina's Tourism, Film, and State Parks Department, where his leadership helped to stimulate the state's tourism economy. Leveraging his experience as a private developer and hotel operator, he secured over $123 million in private investment, to expand tourism, marketing, and help grow the industry to $18.4 billion annually. In 2002, Mr. Prosser made history as the first person reelected to a consecutive term as the chairman of Horry County Council, where he spearheaded major infrastructure projects, including the construction of a new government and justice center and over $1.1 billion in new roads. Beyond his professional and public service roles, Chad Prosser has served on numerous boards, including Sunbank North America, now South State Bank, the U.S. Travel Association, South Carolina Coordinating Council for Economic Development, the South Carolina Council on Competitiveness, and Travel South USA. Chairman Prosser holds a master's degree from the Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies and is a graduate of Rhodes College. He lives in Murrells Inlet with his wife, Susie. They have 3 sons, all currently in college. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chairman Chad Prosser.
Well, thank you, Dr. Adderley. Let me make one correction. One of my sons graduated 2 weeks ago, so I know how excited you all are here today. And I'm going to help him move his apartment as soon as I leave here. Anyway, I also want to thank River and Charlie. I'm glad to know that my sons are not the only ones contributing to the bottom line of DoorDash. Every month when I see that come across a credit card bill, that's what I think. Dr. Adderley recognized our board members. I want to reiterate how appreciative I am of the wonderful folks that serve on the board with me, Kim Lee and Gerald Witt, who are here today. Membership on our board comes with a commission from the governor and absolutely zero compensation. So what we do for the passion of helping the students here at the Governor's School and supporting this institution. I also have the pleasure as chairman of serving on our foundation board. Many of you are familiar with the foundation that supports the Governor's School. It's a fairly unique situation because the foundation is a private foundation supporting a South Carolina public school. The beauty of that is that, as you know, any student who has the talent, the potential, and the ability in the state of South Carolina is able to attend the Governor's School. And that is made possible by the foundation. So I want to point that out because I'm not sure everyone, students, parents, families, understand that very large support network that is behind the Governor's School, which is one of the unique characteristics that really makes this institution what it is and makes it a leading institution in the country. Not every state has a Governor's School of this type. In fact, it's really less than 10 that I would consider competitive with our program, and of course, ours is the best. So anyway, I want to thank all of the members of the foundation. We just had a big event here in Greenville several weeks ago celebrating the 25th anniversary of the school, as you know. So I was glad to be able to attend that. Again, I want to congratulate the parents, the families. I know the sacrifice that goes into having your student come here to the Governor's School, not only financially, but also having that student leave home 2 years earlier than maybe, or 2 or 3 years earlier in some cases, than was expected. So thank you. I'm glad you were able to support your student and give them this opportunity. Now, for the class of 2025, I know you've heard this over and over and over again, but I want to tell you how special you are. You will forever be the students that graduated in our 25th year. I know you've heard it all year long, and hopefully I'm one of the last people to tell you that today, because I know you want to get on to getting your diploma and celebrating here in a few minutes. But maybe one of you will be standing here 25 years from now talking about the incredible experience you had at the Governor's School. Another member of our board who was participating in some of the events yesterday, Carly Finney, was a visual arts alumna, or is a visual arts alumna of the Governor's School. She's now at Clemson, and she was in the very first class. So she graduated 25 years ago from the Governor's School, went on to get her PhD in art history, and ultimately made her way back to South Carolina. And that's what we hope to see for many of you. So I've got a quick question for the members of the class of 2025. Going back a few years to 2023, how many of you remember the movie Oppenheimer? Do you remember that movie? Okay, I think just about everyone saw it. It was such a huge hit. Well, part of the plot and the core mission of that movie was to deal with all of the complex issues that came after the conclusion of the Manhattan Project to create the world's first atomic bomb, which of course at the time was an incredibly transformational technology. And despite the need for that tool to be used to end a horrible war in World War II, Robert Oppenheimer was very concerned about the potential misuse of that technology in the future. A few years ago, I read an article in the Wall Street Journal entitled "J. Robert Oppenheimer's Defense of Humanity." And the article discussed Oppenheimer's subsequent commitment through the Institute of Advanced Study to explore the social, the moral, and the political implications of new technologies such as the atomic bomb. Ironically, Oppenheimer spent most of his late career working to help folks understand how not to be annihilated by the technology that he created in the first part of his career. And he even brought a broad array of non-scientists to the institution, including poet T.S. Eliot and other artists, to help members of the institution understand ways to mitigate the impact of the atomic bomb that was now part of our world. So 2025 is not only a significant year because of the anniversary of the Governor's School, it's also a critical inflection point if we think of technology in general. In fact, you can't watch a news program or pick up a newspaper. Actually, I probably should stop there. A newspaper is it's a record of the news that's printed on paper, and it's usually folded. It's in a large format. They roll it up for distribution. You might have stepped on one, over one in your driveway, because I know many of our class of 2025, like my sons, get their news from social media like TikTok, or you watch it scroll across the bottom of your VR headset. So, however you get the news, I'm sure you've heard about artificial intelligence and what the potential impact could be to our world, to humanity, to our jobs, to healthcare, and even to the art that we make and consume. And I see it firsthand every day in my business. We have small armies of software engineers developing and testing code for big banks. And one of the things I hear from them constantly is the fear of their job going away, of them being disintermediated because of what's happening with artificial intelligence. And you know, even now, AI is currently capable of writing and testing on its own without human intervention about 30% of the code that's now deployed. We don't have time to go through that issue in detail, but I do want you to know that humans are far from obsolete. You might be glad to hear that. How many of you have ever heard of the term prompt engineer? Who knows what a prompt engineer is? Anybody? Okay, a few people in the audience know. So it's basically a professional, a human, who designs and optimizes the inputs to AI that gets the outputs out of AI that we want to bring out of that technology, right? That's essentially what it is. It's somebody who writes prompts. Creative writers, listen up, because this is something that gives all of us with liberal arts degrees hope. And it's actually becoming a very, very important part of technology, that human interaction, even beyond the skill set of being a coder. The skill set of the prompt engineer is now what everyone is seeking. So as artists, I want you to know that you're the prompt engineers who are destined to ensure that humanity controls technology and not vice versa. Now, after I finished putting my thoughts together and actually writing my own thoughts today, I decided to do a little experiment and ask a couple of AI models to write a speech for me for today. So, and notice I said after, because I chair the board that sets the policy on artificial intelligence, and you know, we want you to be able to use it as a tool, and you will face this for the rest of your careers, academically and otherwise. But the ideas have to begin and end with humans. Some of the results I got were pretty good. Some were humorous, and a few were far from 100% accurate. So I got some speeches that had compelling section headings like "A Community Like No Other," "The Moment We Inherit," "A Cautionary Beacon, J. Robert Oppenheimer," "The Charge to the Artist Citizen." That one was particularly good. It had some good stuff in it. And some of the prose sounded like this: "May your art keep humanity at the center of the algorithm. May your courage outpace the code. And may the story you author together be worthy of the stage we share." So, you take that for what it's worth. There were also a few cute feel-good declarations that came up. A machine can reverse engineer a sonata, but it cannot feel the long night when you wrote yours. AI can sketch a ballerina, but it does not know what it costs to land silently after the fifth grand jeté. Now that one gets extra credit for throwing grand jeté in there. Computers can concoct dialogue, but they have never trembled backstage waiting for the lights to rise. So all of that's AI generated and certainly interesting, maybe a little bit lofty, particularly for the Friday on a Memorial Day weekend when you just want to graduate and get out of here and celebrate. So I decided to make things a little bit shorter. Interestingly, the AI models correctly identified that our ceremony today was going to be here at the McAlister Auditorium at Furman University. It deduced that we as a community call ourselves Govies. But one of the speeches had me thanking Dr. Cedric Gray. I don't know a Dr. Cedric Gray. I know a Dr. Cedric Adderley, who's doing a fantastic job leading our institution. I'm not sure who Cedric Gray is. Although as someone who sat in Dr. Adderley's office as he tries to print from his Mac, I know he has his own challenges with technology. But it's getting better, right, Dr. Adderley? So my simple message for you is this. While artificial intelligence, this thing that you're going to be facing the rest of your life, it can mimic form and it can produce prose, but it can't live. It can't live experience. It can't ache and dream and grieve and hope. And the arts are something that really collect and translate our humanity, all of the characteristics and nuances of what makes us human, our emotions and our fears and our thoughts and our struggles and our triumphs. So technology aggregates and flattens data. You hear a lot in that in the data science world. But the arts really expand and elevate the human experience. So you're always going to have this as a tool there, but remember that the story always begins and ends with a human, and that human is you. As artists, you're the protectors of that human touch in every way. You're the prompt engineers for humanity. And I made that up myself. That didn't come from AI. But I hope you take that challenge very seriously. Dr. Oppenheimer once told a gathering of young scientists that the open society, the adventurous society, can endure only if it is both bright and compassionate. You bring both the brightness and the compassion. Don't ever lose those traits. As our 25th anniversary Govey class, the very special class we talked about, you have a special opportunity to not only change the world, but to preserve the things that we as humans love about the world. Thank you very much, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Mr. Prosser. Good afternoon once again to our historic 25th graduating class. Congratulations on this very special day. Today is no doubt a milestone in your personal, artistic, and academic journey. And it is indeed a very significant milestone in the history of the Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities. We've celebrated you and the significance of this year since last August. And I've been pleased to have a front row seat to not just the celebrations, but all that you've accomplished since you joined the Governor's School community. I've watched you grow. I've watched you achieve. And I've watched you inspire each other every day. Soon after beginning your Governor's School experience, you learned much of the history of this great place. You embraced and embodied the true spirit of many paths, one community, Govey unity. And you gained inspiration from the long list of alumni who are now either household names in the arts or are some of the most highly accomplished scholars in other fields of study. But without question, I know that in time you will take your rightful place right alongside them. Whether you are attracted by our magnificent history, the intensity of our Govey learning community, or the mystique of all that lies within the confines of our gates, you knew that things would be very different here, and you still accepted the challenge. I'm proud of each of you for achieving all that you have while enrolled here. But I'm even more proud of the excellence that you demanded of yourselves. I'm honored to have witnessed you grow from a collective of individuals into a very well-connected class and a true-to-form learning community. You have an understanding of the value of not simply accepting multiple challenges, but learning to focus and completing the task at hand. I'm honored to have watched you grow, to have a full understanding of the value of being thoughtful, the value of being kind, and the value of being compassionate, and knowing when to be a leader and when to respectfully be a follower. Armed with that manner of thinking, you will indeed make a difference in the lives of many from this day forward. So, class of 25, as we say farewell to you, my wishes for you are quite simple because you've already mastered so much of the complexities of what happens next in your artistic and academic lives beyond the walls of the Governor's School. I first want you to be mindful that there is still a lot that you don't know. Continue to listen to constructive criticism and recognize the value and continuous improvement of yourselves and of your craft. With that skill in hand, you will indeed stay on the path toward greater progress. Do your best to approach this next stage of life with the same level of curiosity and optimism that you had upon entry into the Governor's School. Please don't let fear stop you from stepping outside of your comfort zone. Take risks and swing for the fences, much in the same way you did in choosing to audition and ultimately enroll at the Governor's School. But remember that you'll never become who you want to be if you're too attached to who you've been. And stay positive. Negativity is all around us, and many of the problems we face today are the result of continued focus on what's wrong with no solution for making it right. Of course, be fully aware of the facts of matters affecting your life and your future, but do your best in not acknowledging negativity. And try to surround yourself with positive people like those seated right next to you right now, who lift your spirits and who keep you honest and focused. And finally, as you make the transition into a seemingly unbalanced and unforgiving world, recognize that it is indeed unbalanced and unforgiving. But things turn out best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out. And your ability to remain disciplined is the freedom that will take you where you want to go in life. Keep it as a part of your daily routine from this day forward. And as you reflect upon this very, very special year, and reflect upon the legacy of the Governor's School, whether we choose to remember the Governor's School of 1999, the School of 2025, or any version in between, let us recognize and celebrate the fact that you are indeed a very special part of that legacy. You are a marker in the history of the Governor's School. But you are also the marker that set the tone for the next 25 years. Your entire experience was so very different from those that preceded you, with a full menu of collaborative work and new curricula fully embedded in your programs of study. Add to that a 9-month calendar of some of the biggest celebrations in the history of our school, all without compromising the academic integrity and the artistic integrity of our programs. You didn't just meet expectations, you exceeded them across every department. You are truly representative of the future of arts education and the future of the Governor's School. You are collectively our state's most accomplished high school students, and I trust that you will agree that the sacrifices you made to be here were well worth it. So take this unique spirit of community and collaborative work and the Govey legacy of excellence wherever you go. I pray that your continued growth as an artist and as an individual will nurture your curiosity of learning and further develop the values that will inspire others toward that same level of excellence that you now possess. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage the Governor's School Cantus Choir under the direction of Dr. Elliott Smith, performing If the Music Be the Food of Love.
Each year, seniors are invited to nominate a peer to represent their class as the senior speaker. Nominated students are invited to prepare and present their speeches to a committee of students, faculty, and staff, which has a very tough job in selecting one speaker from among a very diverse and dynamic pool. You can read excerpts from other speeches in your printed program this afternoon. Ultimately, the committee must select one student to represent the graduating class. So it is my honor to introduce the committee's choice. Please welcome our commencement speaker for, to, and about the class of 2025, Angel Watson.
Good afternoon. My name is Angel Watson. I'm a graduating drama student here at the South Carolina Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities. A thing we often say here at the Governor's School and also often complain about is how there's never a place where you can be alone. There are always people around. Someone will always either catch you pre-crash out, mid-crash out, or post-crash out. But I find such beauty in knowing that we are never really alone. I mean emotionally. The people here at this school have experienced similar, if not the same, hardships, struggles, homework assignments, aggravation by those around us. It's comforting to know that there's someone around you who can relate to you and can give you comfort and advice on how to get through it. I take solace in knowing that who I am today was built on the 2 years I spent being pushed, challenged, encouraged, and loved by those around me. It's the public safety team telling you good morning every day with a smile on their face. It's a mentor asking you if you're all right and letting you know that you can call them at any hour of the day. It's a teacher who knows you have so much more within you when you don't know how much more you have to give. In these moments, when we're nearing the end of our journey together, we all naturally become more present. It's knowing that you might not be in the presence of these people again that forces you to take it in while you have the chance. But the beauty of things coming to an end is that you are blessed with an opportunity to experience it. A wise person once said to me, to see a goodbye as an opportunity to be filled with gratitude that you even met the person. I challenge us all to take on that mindset, to hold a space of gratitude for even meeting the people that we met here. With each of us lies a uniqueness that cannot be replicated. There are people at this school who I know for a fact I will not meet another person like them. But I do want to be intentional about acknowledging the parents and the sacrifices that you all made in order for your children to pursue a love for the arts. To let your child go is not an easy thing to do. So I want to say to all of you personally, thank you. We as students know all about sacrifice and the ones that we made in order to hone our craft at this institution. But I know in my heart, just as well as you know, that the sacrifices that we made here were a down payment on our future. It's when you go home during the extended breaks and you realize you've changed and you don't quite enjoy the things you used to and you don't quite click with that group anymore. So I want you all to question, how much did you really miss? And where would you be if you had stayed where you were? Sometimes we're called to step into the unknown, That's when the most beautiful revelations come. With sacrifice comes the creation of a legacy. For many of us, or some of us, this path that we're pursuing, no one in our family has ever gone down. And it takes such courage to walk down a road that has no footprints. But we're paving the way, leaving footprints for those who are coming up behind us, because who's to say that you're not the one to inspire someone else to take on this craft? So, as we conclude this chapter in our lives and move on to different places and new stages, I want us all to think about all that we went through this year, from the fire alarm going off at 12 a.m. in the morning, okay, 2 snow days, and a natural disaster that put into perspective how little time we have on this earth. My graduating class, I'm so proud of you. We stepped out on a limb and let the outcome be what it would be because of a passion. That's something to be applauded. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Angel. Dean Thomas, as president of the South Carolina Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities, I offer my sincere thanks to the parents, families, staff, and faculty who have contributed to the achievements of this class of talented artists and scholars. Now, I am honored to present to you these candidates for graduation from the class of 2025.
As we prepare to present our graduates, we ask that you try to hold your applause and other noises until all students have received their diplomas. This will allow each student's name to be heard and appropriately honored. Once all diplomas are received, our seniors are asked to stand for confirmation of degrees, and then we will all go crazy. Jordan Acker. Dune Adams. William Brady Baggett. Annalisa Michaela Baldassari. Namaya Vion Bennett. Caitlin Blair. Kiara Michelle Booker. Luke Austin Braddock. Thomas Henry Bridgman. Harper Geneva Bright. Eli Jordan Brown. Zabria Malaya Jakai Burks. Channing Bush. Anna Maria Castro Spratt. Cherry Mason Chessman. Rosie Matan Clark. Erica Joy Coleman. Mary Claire Elizabeth Cooper. Zahara Adanya Cooper. Amelie Davis. Leighton Regina Davis. Gabby Delanuez. Layla Marina Diplan. Sarah Marie Espinoza. Tatiana Michelle Fasnacht. Lila Anne-Marie Fernie. Eulena Takia Floyd. Matilda Franco Gill. Isabel Garcia. Grace Garrett. Nathaniel Gilliam. Nathaniel Greenberg. Jay Hankins. Maddox Colton Harden. Ava Grace Sheely Hart. Caroline Henley. Amanda Jo Hereford. Eloise Hill. Shelby Savannah Hillis. Jackson Hollow. Erica Shazaya Holmes. Nora Hoppy. Echo Horn. Ethan Avery Hughes. Hannah Renee James. K.O. James. Malachi Jermaine Johnson. Brock Holden Jones. Jada Marie Kinchlow. London Grace King. Kira Anna Capri Craft. Gabriella Julianne Lincoln. Elizabeth Alexi Rose Lindsay. James Love. Caleb Kumwandi Luhila. Lauren Ashley Luther. Kate Elizabeth Martin. Olivia Beatrice Martin. River Raphael McGee. Addison Sheely Moore. Nadine Zakai Myers. Sophia Marie Myers. Indigo Akash Nath. Braxton Nettles. Bianca Lucia Obeso. Mia Lynn Ortiz. Zion Xavier Phelps. William Tendler Price. Carlin Joy Picel. Camila Ramirez Camarena. Charles Wilson Rattery. Valentina Michelle Reyes. Nakima Tajiana Robinson. Zaylin Rodwell. Annie Rogers. Quinn Rondo. Ruben Shiftlet. Charlotte Caitlin Shine. Anna Jen Eva Simmons. Matthew Simmons. Maya Sinclair. Justin Thomas Season. Addison Smith. Ashley Ellen Smith. Elizabeth Solos. Evelyn Marie Squires. Trinity Elaine Squires. Messiah Alex Xavier Taylor. Caden Patrick Todd. Morgan Kate Trehorn. Savante Vaughn. Anna Elizabeth Walls. Stella Elizabeth Warren Page. Angel Michaela Watson. Catherine Frances Wells. Taylor Cassidy Wells. Madeline Rose Whitworth. E.J. Wilkinson. Destiny Nicole Zion Williams. Ella Williams. Wyatt Nicholas Yock. Cece Zhu. Graduates, please stand. You have 1 minute, 1 second. I have to say some very magical words. Until I say it, it ain't true. 1 moment. You have completed the requirements for a high school diploma as prescribed by the State Department of Education of the state of South Carolina. Therefore, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors of the South Carolina Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities, I now declare you 2025 graduates of the South Carolina Governor's School for the Arts and Humanities. Please move your tassels and congratulations.
Today, we observe an important rite of passage, one that even today is rare for many families as students still become the first in their families to graduate from high school. How fortunate we are to know that each of these students, whether first or 101st in their families to reach this milestone, we know that each of these students is capable of the highest levels of professional success from this day forward. To the parents and families of our graduating class, I thank you for being partners in this venture and for your support of the graduating class, for it has been through your continued love, encouragement, and support that these young people have achieved all that they have over the course of the last several years. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining us on this special day as we celebrate the end of a journey and the beginning of the next chapter in what we know will be many success stories in the lives of these fine students. Enjoy this day, go in peace, and thank you for joining us in this great day of celebration. We ask that the audience please stay in place during the recessionals of graduates and employees. Please gather your belongings as you exit, since the auditorium will close behind you. Graduates and employees, please stand for the recessional.